There's nobody's responsibility. There's no one's responsibility but yours to believe in you, family. You know, I waited a minute before I posted this video. I had a couple things going yesterday, and I wanted to get a couple things done around the house. So I was actually trying to kill several birds in one stone. But I had this topic on my mind for a few days now, and I think it's something that is valuable for new entrepreneurs and even seasoned entrepreneurs. Good rising, sis, good rising. I think it's valuable because we have to stay realistic and we have to grow up. We have to realize that when we decide to do anything or to be anything that we want to do, that we won't have to, that you might not have the support that you want from family members, loved ones, friends, or whatever. You know, it's easy for people to support things when you're going on, when you following the crowd, you know. But when you're building your own independence, sometimes you're going to be the only one standing to support what you do. And I read a statement this morning I got to share it with you. I think I posted it on my feed, and it said that you have to realize those that you love don't care about you. Yes, and it happens like that. So we can't have our eyes placed on that at all. Like, don't get fixed on thinking that you got to have the support from your family, friends, and loved ones, because it might be from strangers and it might not come the way you want it, just like what you said, or it might not come at all. But you're going to have to be responsible for your beliefs, and you're going to have to make the sacrifices. You're going to have to be able to say, hey, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm about to do, and I'm about to go forward with it. But it's all on you, family. Like, it's literally based on you, what you want to do, how you want to do it, and being realistic with yourself. Yes, that's always a good thing. Um, and you know what? It's crazy that you say that, because some even act like you're pulling teeth, breaking our arm just to do that. Now it's so easy with social media and the network, the way the networks are set up, where a like, a share can go places that you can't go. Like, a person can share something of yours and can actually put you in front of some people that you would have never been able to sit in front of if it wasn't for someone else putting that image or that content in front of them. So we have to be humble and know that we just got to be responsible for the work ethics, what we got to do physically, like standing behind your dreams, doing what you have to do, and just being realistic, that knowing that once you start growing up and you start pursuing your dreams and your ambitions, and you start realizing what's most important to you, that the your friend, so to speak, is going to be like wool. You're going to be shaving some of your wool off, and you're going to end up having a thinner jacket than what you normally have. Yes, it is. You know what I mean? Social media, actually, some people look at it as being a bad thing. Some people look at it as being a great thing. Some people are on the fence with it, but I think that it just reveals people for who they are. You got people who are certain ways, and it gives them the opportunity to show who they are without a filter, so to speak. And also it gives you the opportunity for someone to be able to make up a scene. Because you got to think, Hollywood, a lot of the movies, a lot of the entertainment that people engage in is not real. Like, it's made up entertainment. It might be put in an environment to make you feel like it's real, and might have some music or something in the background that moves emotions, but the movie, the concept is not real. The locations don't even be real. The people, they got it so good now. You can see a Hollywood actor that back in the day they used to have to maybe work out a little bit to get these muscles in this video or these movies to be able to show these certain characters. Now they can just put on a muscle suit and say, hey, you ain't got to work out. Hey man, just put on the muscle suit, slim your face up some. You ain't got to do that. We can do that in the camera. You just be in the scene. I mean, so technology has taken us to a whole nother depth. But I think that it's important for us to be responsible for what we believe in, what we want to accomplish, what we want to do. And just like at my mama's house renovations now, I'm not putting my responsibility to restore the house on anyone. It's something that I need to do. I got to do. Yeah. They just put the bodysuit on, don't it? Like it's a whole other world now. You know what I mean? And so we even get caught up. I look at our young ladies because I have 3 daughters. You know what I mean? So I understand now. Being a father, the way that you don't want your daughters to just fall into just an image. Especially if you're a man that's been in the street before. You know what I mean? Sometimes it ain't about who they are; it's about what they get from them. You know what I mean? Or how you can benefit. And a lot of times, women, fall in due to, ooh, we look good in the photo, or he said this, or he got this, and then you realize later that this person wasn't who they are. So a lot of times dealing with that, you want your kids to be cautious. They say guard your heart, especially for your young women, and then even for your young kings. You know what I mean? Because if a man loses focus and can't be who he is because he's allowing someone else to control him, that's not allowing him to be great as he could be, then that's a downfall too. So it goes both ways. But me being a father of 3 daughters, it humbles me because a lot of times you don't want to do anything, or you don't want to have an example for your daughters to look at and say, oh man, this is how everyone is. And someone have to give an example of what stability is, what support is, what being loyal is, what being faithful is, what standing behind someone is, what's going through the struggle is. You know what I mean? Not telling your left hand what your right hand doing. And a lot of these family values we don't see. A lot of them don't get taught like they should. And then what's so crazy about it, that in certain rural areas, a lot of families don't, they just be feeding them and go to sleep, but they don't really teach them anything. It's more of a, oh, I like, put this on, you look good in this, or your grades good, or is this okay? But we ain't really holding conversations to see who our kids are, you know what I mean? And I think that's important. I think that's important because, in order for us to help them, we gotta know who they are, and vice versa, you know what I mean? So I think that's why it's good to lead by example with that too. Like, if you want your kids to chase their dreams and you want them to be all they can be, you got to be all you can be. It's easy to tell someone, go through it, stand strong, endure, and then you don't never endure and stand strong. Yeah, it's just holding a conversation, you know what I mean? It is a lost art, and it's so crazy because even in relationships, a lot of people don't know how to hold conversations. And I think that's what makes, I think that's what brings opposites together, because it doesn't matter where you're from. If you can sit down and hold a conversation and can relate to someone, and that's how people can come together from different cultures and different areas and can sit down because everybody got a mutual pain or a mutual goal, or face something that was similar. And if you can't hold a conversation with someone, it's going to be hard for you to get over the hump. So I think that that's very valuable, and being responsible, because you're going to have to hold conversations with people just to get over certain hoarders in life, you know what I mean, when you're trying to do business. And that's one thing I learned about business, that even being independent, you still have to go through certain chain of commands. Like it's still certain things. If you're trying to do certain things, you got to go through certain sources. But if you're being truly independent and you truly believe in what you're doing, you're gonna put your money behind it. You're gonna do whatever it takes to make it happen. And I think that's the difference from a true entrepreneur versus someone who's, who got the um, assets of others. Because you got a lot of our competition, especially small entrepreneurs, small LLCs, small businesses. A lot of our competition, is using other people's money, big credit, big loans. So when you coming in, um, there's going to be certain doors that they just ain't going to open. So you're going to have to be responsible. Say, you know what, I'm going to have to cut this habit back. I'm going to have to sell this car. I'm going to have to get rid of this. I'm going to have to do this, whatever it takes for you to pursue your dream or to get your self established the way you want to. So, like I say, doing this renovation on my mom's house, it has been challenging, but I feel like it's been worth it. But I have to be responsible. I have to get up and figure out what can I do next? How can I network? How can I open up another door? And sometimes you don't see, a positive outlook, all the time, and that's just realistic. But that's when your discipline steps in, when you know that, hey, it might not look good right now, but we know that seasons change. It's not always winter. It's not always summer. You know what I mean? So we know if we endure, we're going to make it to a different season. So, it's all about knowing that you want to go through something. So, that's how I feel, or why I feel that we are responsible for, believing in us. We are responsible for it. So, you even have times where, even if you're in a relationship, sometimes you'll probably be the only one believing in a certain thing, and you have to firmly and strongly believe in it in order for it to make it work. Yes, yes. You have to be prepared because they gonna change, family. They gonna change. So this morning, like I said, I just wanted to come through and talk a little bit about that because I think that it's important that we understand that we're gonna have to handle certain things ourselves. It's our responsibility, like no one else's. And before I let you go, all I can think about is the fact that it says a wise person will visit the graveyard, the cemetery, and they say a fool will be in the house of laughter and partying all the time. And at first, I didn't really, fully understand it, but now I get it. A wise person realized that the facts about life is we're not going to live forever, family. We're going to have to meet an end, and we can't put a date on that end. Like, we don't know how long we have. Surely we wish we did, but we don't. So we had to wait. Y'all know, you get it. We're going to meet an end. So we had to come to grips with the fact that we don't know when we're going to leave. We don't know how long we're going to, but we do know that while we're here, we got a purpose. Like, I believe that no one here is born without a purpose. If you made it, if your parents end up having you, or you didn't get aborted, or you made it and you alive and well, you have a purpose, and it might be, something big, and it might be something small that helps someone do something big, you know, but I believe we all have one. And I think that we have to realize that to be truly wise, to truly grow up, we have to realize that we're going to let this life go. So how do we want to leave our outlook? You know what I mean? You get it? I see you getting it, because you got to think a fool. When we live for the moment. Growing up in the projects in the hood, a lot of us live for the moment. Growing up in rural areas, being poor, not having certain things, we live for the moment. We live for the thrill of the high, or the feeling, or the, oh man, just for that, and not knowing that this too shall pass. And I remember hearing that and not fully understanding it, but this too shall pass. So we have to realize that we have to visit the house of the dead, not necessarily going to funerals all the time, which I don't personally like going to them all the time, but I do like visiting the dead because it helps me reflect or thinking of them. And even being in here, to me, my mom's house is a tomb because my mom passed here. She died in her bed, you know what I mean? So me being here working on the house, to me, is her tomb. I'm keeping it up. I'm putting flowers in it. I'm keeping life in it, you know what I mean? Because not only did she die here, I know that she sacrificed her health to be here. She went through a lot of things in order to own her home, in order to pass it down. So for me to be in a position for someone to literally go down in health and lose their life and their home that they worked hard for to give me a better way, I got to honor it. I'd be a fool not to, no matter how bad it is. I have to at least try, you know what I mean? And one thing that that if you put effort, if you put life in anything, it's going to work out, you know what I mean? So it's coming on along now. But to me, it's an honor for me to try to do whatever. And I know that things might not come out the way that I really want them to at the moment, but they coming, you know what I mean? So my goal is to honor her, yes, is to honor her. So lead by example, because we have to honor those who truly made a way for us. I wouldn't be welding at all if it wasn't for my mom. I wouldn't be in the position and the mind state I am in today if it wasn't for some seeds that she planted and that she didn't give up in those tough times, you know what I mean? Because realistically, family, I can literally tell you that she all I had in certain times, in my lowest times in my life. That's the only person that I had. I didn't have anyone else. And so when I lost her, it was, even though my mom been gone years now, I still feel like, like she just left because of the connection we had and what she did. And I know I have some associates and people I grew up with that have lost their moms, and their moms have blessed them, or their dads have blessed them. They never went back and really took care of, what they was blessed with. And to me, I think that's like being in the house of party, being a fool, because we know that whatever else that's go on out here, we're going to blow. You buy some rims, the value you're going to lose. You get a car, you're going to lose the value. You get the understanding, what are you really working hard for? You know what I mean? Are you working just for your money to fly out the window? Literally, a lot of times we do things, but we don't really take heed of the liabilities that we build up, the stress that we build up, when we can have a simple life and still be able to do some things. But, we have to just slow down and realize that being here is humbling, family. Being here is humbling. Like I say, waking up here, walking through here and seeing, what my mom did to give me an opportunity. I had to come back, and no matter, the crazy thing, everybody have an excuse or something. Man, I can't do it because of this. Oh, I can't do it because of this. It's easy to make an excuse, family. It's easy. Believe me, we can come up with some. But work ethics, family, you got to do it anyway. Yes, they will. They're going to wonder where their money went, and it always does, you know what I mean? Because I have went there, and, I can tell you about some some thousands I have lost, chasing my tail. Like I say, they say a cat will never catch his tail because he's going to run as fast as the tail running. And that's what I was doing at one time. I can tell you money I've lost vainly, chasing images, women, lifestyles, just, and some of it was just one of the things that I thought was worth having. Sometimes you think when you're growing up, you think just because you didn't have certain things that you was behind, and then you get certain things and realize how you was blessed not to have them. Some things that just but you have to experience it. That's life. It comes with life. Yes, I have lost thousands, like thousands. And to frankly, to be honest with you, I know I'd lost over 100,000. You know what I mean? Just in cash and uh, having to liquidate. You know what I mean? Things happen. You know what I mean? But one thing I can say though, being in one position where you have touched certain things, you always know you can get it again. And then once you become an asset and you learn products over talent and you learn how to be truly independent and have a product and also have a service, then you'll realize that you become everything that you need. Like you are a full resource yourself. And once you create that full resource, it don't matter where you go, you can reestablish. But once you fully get it, you'll never go back again. Like it won't reset unless something drastically have to happen. But you learn now that you don't keep all your eggs in one basket. So you might lose, but you never lost. That makes sense? Because in life you're gonna lose things, but you never lost. You're always ahead because you was planting seeds in different areas. You had other things going, so if that didn't go, you had that going. And that's one thing that I realize now, growing and building businesses, you know what I mean, or being independent and working for others and looking for income, looking for work. I realized that I have to be exactly what I want, I have to produce that. So I understand it now. I didn't at one time, but I do now, you know what I mean? So, like I say, being here is humbling. Being here is visiting the house of the dead, visiting the house of mourning, and realizing that everything comes to an end. And not being sad about it, but just being realistic. So that way you can make some more cautious decisions. And being here, this is what this is. It helps me look at life. It helps me focus on things that I know that is realistic, and I can fix this, or I can do this, or what is perfect. What is perfect to one is might be beneath to another. You know what I mean? So I think you have to find your own. Don't look at someone else and say, "Oh, I gotta have that perfect." Find your perfect. Find your peace. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that this house has been doing. I just been finding my own. And putting blood, sweat, and tears into it. Literally, I cut myself a couple times. It's been real, but things are coming along. In the process is everything. Most people like to show you, I came from this and now I'm here. I'm here now. I done made it. But what about the process? You never see like, well, what did you go through? And to some kids and some people that's looking to be entrepreneurs, that looking to start businesses, they think, oh, it's going to be this easy. Oh, they just went from this to this. You don't know how long it took them to get from that to that. Sometimes it's years, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, before they figured it out. So don't get caught up in the numbers. Just get caught up in knowing that if you got something great in you, just take your time and bring it out of you. You know what I mean? So I truly feel it's our responsibility to believe in ourselves. What you said, sis, we learn from the process. And the process is the best teacher. It's the best teacher because not only you're going to learn more in depth from the process you're going through, but you can learn also from the process that others went through to save yourself from that headache. You know what I mean? Like I say, before I let you go, that statement that I read this morning that said, we have to realize that the people that we love so much don't care about us. Because you're going to have people that you would do anything for. You would literally give your life up that wouldn't give their life for you. They wouldn't even consider it. They would be like, huh? Man, nah. You know what I'm saying? But you thinking like, I thought you felt the same way I did. That's life, family. It's like this. So sometimes you have to know for sure who your team is. And sometimes your team or the few people you got that you really get might not be who you want. You're like, man, I wish it was so-and-so. That ain't what you got though. Who can you call on when you ain't got nothing? You down and out in the hospital, you need something. Who gonna drop everything and say, hey, okay, what can we do? How can I help you? That's family. Those are the valuable ones. You know what I mean? Everybody else is just talk, just associate people you see at the grocery store when you're out and about. You know what I mean? So just wanted to say, man, everybody's starting a new week. Make sure that know that you're responsible. No, we don't. We can't. That's the most wisest thing we can do is learn from other people's mistakes because we won't live long enough to learn from all of ours. So be blessed and prosper, family. I know this is a new week, so we're gonna keep getting a hog on. Like Feniks, I'm out.